Hello, my name's Sarah, and I'm going to guide you through a gentle yoga practice. You won't need any props for this practice, and just to remind you that you will see me moving towards the back of the other side of my mat, just for visual purposes only. So just allowing yourself to connect with your mat, allowing your breath to slow down and be natural. Noticing your chest rise and fall with each breath. And just beginning to turn your head from side to side. Noticing any body sensations that you might be feeling. You might even notice that there might be one side that's a little bit more flexible than the other. And drawing your chin towards your chest. And then inhaling, drawing your chin up towards the ceiling. And exhale, dropping your chin down to your chest, noticing the length of your spine. And then inhaling up towards the ceiling. Just taking your chin as far as possible where it feels comfortable for you. Just going with your own natural flow of your breath. And just dropping your left ear towards your shoulder. Just taking it to the opposite side. Keeping your shoulders still as possible. Just seeing and noticing any body sensations that you might be experiencing right now. Just holding this position for that little bit longer. Taking breaths in and out through your nostrils. And starting to begin to roll your shoulders, creating circles. Doesn't matter which direction you start off with. And just seeing if you can lift your shoulders right up to your elbows. And then going in the opposite direction. Moving your shoulders. And just adjusting your practice to whatever feels comfortable for you. And then keeping your hands on your knees, beginning to create some cat-cow. So on the inhale, lifting your chin up towards the ceiling, lifting your chest. And then on the exhale, rounding your back, your shoulders and tucking your chin towards your chest. Inhale, lifting up your chest, lifting up your chin. And exhale, lengthening your spine, tucking your chin towards your chest, rounding your back. And continuing this flow with your breath as natural as possible. And then taking your opposite hand to knee. As you inhale, lifting your chest, and exhale, taking a twist, looking slightly over your back shoulder. Staying here for a few breaths. You can soften your gaze if you like. And then on your exhale, releasing your hands and taking your other hand to your opposite knee. Hand behind you. Inhaling, lifting your chest, and then creating a twist in your spine. Softening your gaze if you like. And then releasing your hands and placing your left hand onto your mat beside you, and then reaching up with your opposite hand, extending. And if it feels okay for you, looking up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest, and then exhaling, releasing, and taking the opposite hand to your mat and reaching over with your left arm. looking up towards the ceiling if it's okay with your neck. Feeling the stretch all the way down the left side of your body, and then exhaling, releasing, and coming onto your neutral position on all fours, and just making sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your knees are hip width apart, fingers spread. And then on the inhale, lifting your chest, looking forward, raising your tailbone. Then exhale, rounding your back, tucking your tailbone under. Inhale, lifting your chest. Exhale, tucking your chin towards your chest, creating movement within your spine, making it fluid as possible. If you like to turn your hips from side to side, turning your head, or creating some movement in your elbows, whatever feels good for you right now. It's waking up the spine gently as possible. And extending your right leg behind you, tucking your toes under, and just pushing your heel away from your body and feeling that stretch all the way down your leg. And then taking to your opposite leg, so extending your left leg behind you, tucking your toes under and extending your heel away from you, feeling that deep stretch. And then coming back into a neutral position. Knees wide, big toes touching, hips to heels, extending your arms all the way forward along the mat and allowing your head to rest towards the earth. Noticing any changes in your body or in your breath, or perhaps even the temperature of your body. Allowing your head to come off your mat, coming back into a neutral position. And then exhaling, coming into your first downward facing dog. So lifting your knees off your mat, extending your hips towards the ceiling behind you. And I always like to encourage all of my students to use this time to perhaps create some movement in your legs by maybe pedaling your heels back up and down, feeling the stretch behind your legs. And then on your inhale, bringing your shoulders over your wrists, coming into a plank, creating and activating your Mula Bandha, and then exhale, coming into your downward facing dog. Using your hands to push into the mat to lengthen your torso. And then inhale, coming back into a plank, placing your knees onto the mat. And then exhale, coming back into a child's position. Then inhale, coming back up into a neutral position, tucking your toes under, and exhale, coming into your downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. And bending your knees, walking your feet up towards your hands, placing your hands on your shins as you inhale, extending your crown. Exhale, full forward fold, letting your torso and arms be heavy. Feeling the stretch all the way down behind your legs, maybe even wiggling your hips from side to side, perhaps holding onto your opposite elbows with your hands, coming into ragdoll. Bending your knees, placing your palms and hands on the floor as you extend your left leg behind you with your toes tucked under, heel off the floor, placing your back knee onto the mat, allowing your hips to drop. Taking a few breaths here just to notice the stretch, any body sensations that maybe have been created. And then on the inhale, using your hands to walk back down your mat as your hips move back towards your back heel, extending your right leg. Your toes might even come off the mat as you allow your torso to drop towards your right leg. And then using your hands to walk your feet and hands back up to the top of the mat, bringing your chest up, placing your hands into Anjali Mudra in front of your chest, allowing your hips to sink just that little bit more, gaining your balance. And taking your left elbow as you place it over your right thigh, creating a twist, looking up towards the ceiling if it's okay for you. Inhale, releasing your left elbow, looking forward. Exhale, framing your front foot. Inhale, stepping back into neutral position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Making sure that your fingers are spread out and wide. Lifting your hips towards the ceiling behind you, lengthening your torso. Using your knees to bend as you walk up towards your hands, placing your hands on your shin. Inhale, half forward lift. Exhale, full forward fold, letting your torso and arms be heavy. Perhaps giving a swaying motion with the upper body. Taking your hand in opposite elbows, coming into ragdoll posture. Then releasing your hands, bending your knees and stepping your right foot towards the back of the mat, tucking your toes under, extending your heel behind you, looking forward. Noticing the stretch, allowing your back knee to drop to the mat, adjusting yourself if you need to. Noticing any body sensations, letting your hips drop. Using your hands to walk towards the back of the mat as your hips extend to your back heel, lengthening your front leg. Just seeing if your torso can move slightly towards your left leg. Using your hands to walk to the top of the mat once again, framing your front foot. Inhale, lifting your chest, bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra in front of your chest, gaining your balance. And using your right elbow over your left thigh, creating a twist, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, releasing your elbow, coming back to center. Exhale, framing your front foot and stepping back into neutral position, tucking your back toes under as you exhale into downward facing dog. Staying here for a few breaths. Inhale, coming into a plank, shoulders over wrists, dropping your knees and dropping your hips as you lower your front of your body, your torso, your chest. You can either have your hands wide off the mat or on the mat. Inhale, pushing your weight into your hands and your palms as you lift your chest, looking forward. Exhale, lowering your chest back down to your mat. Inhale, lifting your chest, looking forward. Exhale, lowering your chest back down, lengthening your spine. Inhale, creating that small back bend. Exhale, lowering your chest back down to your mat. Inhale, lifting up your hips, coming back into neutral position, extending your hips back to heels, coming into your child's position, extending your arms, lowering your head back down to the mat. Noticing your breath, your chest moving, the contact that you have with the mat. Inhale, lifting your hips off your heels, coming onto your seated position, lying down on your back, bending your knees, drawing them towards your chest, interlacing your hands over your shins, feeling the stretch all the way down your spine. Just giving a slight rock from side to side to massage your spine. And just bending your knees and allowing both knees to drop to the left-hand side of the floor, creating a twist. And if you like to extend the twist, you can always look in the opposite direction to your knees and just close down your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or soften your gaze. You can always place a blanket or a block under your knees if you feel to. And then on the inhale, lifting your knees and then allowing them to drop on the opposite side. Turning your face in the opposite direction to your knees if you'd like to increase the stretch. And inhale, bring your knees back to center. Drawing your knees back to your chest, taking hold of your shins if you like. Creating any movement that you need to create before extending your legs down your mat, coming into Shavasana, corpse position. Lowering your eyes or closing your eyes fully. start to create some movement in your toes and fingers by giving them a wiggle, or perhaps extending your arms over your head or pointing your toes. And then just rolling over on your preferred side just for a moment. And then on your inhale, using your hand to push yourself up, coming into a cross-legged position. Bring your hands in Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for being present and giving this time and space for you. Your mind and body will thank you for it. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.